100 miles, let's go! There's a insane vibration. Well, so I used Liquid Moly Gen 540 on my old motor. It looked basically brand new when I took it out, so I'm going to continue using it on my S52, but I used it on my braking period, no problem, alongside with the Redline engine oil break-in additive. So this is, I guess, the break-in oil that I used. I have half a bottle left since you only use half a bottle with the amount an S52 takes. So I'm going to use the rest in this, and I'm going to be doing a Blackstone oil analysis just to have a good record history of the motor. Why not? And I guess we can take it on a rip finally. I haven't floored it. I haven't done any hard pulls yet. So today we're going to find out how fast is this car really. Let's get started. All right, so I got the driver's side of the car jacked up. That's all I really need since the drain plug is on the side of the oil pan instead of the bottom. So I just needed to pour it down the side basically. This is good enough. All right, got my drain pan. Let's go under and get started, I guess. Just to show you what I'm talking about, I think you can see why I only need jack up one side. Drain plug is on the passenger side, and when it's tilted over like that, I can just have it pour right into the drain pan like that. There we go. All right, so while that's draining, we can take off our old oil filter and inspect that. So far, so good. The oil looks rather nice. Actually, it's a little darker on video than in person, but that is a nice oil color. Nothing weird so far. So right off the bat, we do have quite a bit of oil shavings and small little pieces here and there, but I guess nothing out of the ordinary, right? A couple pieces right there, but no chunks, I guess, just small little flakes. Yeah, we got a little bit of sparkles going on. Nothing out of the ordinary. The oil's still green, which is nice, but nothing crazy, I don't think. And in other good news, I have my UV light with me, just to see if any of the Moly Gen oil is leaked out. No leaks. A BMW without an oil leak? Nah, no way. And before I forget, I'm gonna take out the fuel pump fuse. That way we can crank the motor and build some oil pressure before we actually turn it on. And as I stated earlier, we're using Liquid Moly Gen 540 for this motor. Perfect. Just got yelled at for some reason by a kid or something. All right, coolant is up to temp. Oil is just below the minimum line, so I'm gonna give it a little bit. Do a pull here. Holy fuck! Holy fuck, this shit is fast! That was a massive fucking pine cone. Just smacked the fuck out of my oil pan on a goddamn pine cone. Alright, my engine builder has been begging me for a fucking pull video, so he's gonna get a pull video right here. moments before things had went wrong as I tried to do an F80 skid the next day. So I'm in some clothes that I don't mind getting dirty at the moment, but let me show you the issue that I'm having first. There's a insane vibration coming from the shifter. I drove it home no issue, and it does shift fine. But even if my clutch is in, I got some insane vibrations. So this can be either one of two things. Best case scenario, transmission mount had come loose or failed or something like that. I'm using brand new Rogue Engineering mounts, so I don't see why it would fail, but you never know, it could happen. Or something internally clutch flywheel related. In that case, I'm screwed because I kind of don't really want to take the trans off. Let's jack it up, see if we can see anything. Well, it wasn't any of them mounts, I'll tell you that much. God damn it. Here's my old clutch. As you can see, we had to pull the trans out. Shout out Munzer for helping me out yesterday. He did a good chunk of the work. He's the GOAT. Clutch disc is fine. I was thinking maybe one of the springs on the clutch broke, but that's indeed not the case. Let me show you what happened. So this is your pressure plate. It's basically like a giant brake rotor. This is a rotor surface, and the disc is basically like a giant brake pad that just clamps onto it and it stops. This, it rotates at the exact same speed as the engine does. So it's supposed to be a balanced piece. And if I show you this, right, you can see there's a gap. You can see there's a gap there too. If I show you right here, you can see there is quite literally no gap. You see this part? This is called a strap. There's 3 of them, and they basically hold this pressure plate surface centered. Take a look at that one in comparison to the other one I just showed you. Yep, we bent the pressure plate. How insane is that? Stock little stupid ass S52 bent the pressure plate. How insane is that? Unreal, honestly. But that just means the S52 is built different. We're already bending pressure plates, as insane as that is. So what's the solution? Brand new clutch? Well, not brand new. It was on my M50. Had like 5,000 miles on it. Already got damaged from one clutch kick. What do we do? Here I present to you a Sachs S38 clutch kit. These have gone much cheaper in price recently. For whatever reason, I guess they're much more readily available now. But when I originally did that clutch with the RHD flywheel, these clutch kits were about $700, $800. Those M30 clutch kits were about $250, right? That is an M30 clutch kit. I assumed it would be enough since M30s make about as much torque as an S52, but clearly that's not the case, not enough. So the disc here, nothing special. You can see the springs are a little beefier, handle a little more power, but the big upgrade is this pressure plate over here. Obviously you can see it's even and centered. Obviously it's brand new, but look at the straps. Much thicker. We have 3 straps instead of 2, like on the M30 kit. And these clutch flywheel combinations are known for easily handling 400 plus horsepower, so I'm not worried about this. But that just means I gotta put a new clutch in. And we gotta do another 500-mile break-in period, which kind of blows. But at least we found the issue, and nothing's wrong with the engine, thank God. Nothing's wrong with the work that I did also, thank God, because that would make me look a little stupid. But we indeed did have a part failure. So I guess that's the best horrible thing I can ask to happen out of everything that we did, a clutch failure. That's okay. We got a brand new clutch right here, gotta replace it, and after another 500-mile break-in period, we'll be F80 skin all over the place again. So until the next one, I look forward to seeing you guys there. Have a good one.